Imagine you have a hive full of bees. Bit weird, just bear with me. You're a beekeeper or something, you're getting a lot of honey, everything is going really, really well. And then one day, one of your hundreds and hundreds of bees thinks to itself, oh, I'm just one bee, I'm not important, and it stops doing anything. And other bees start thinking the same thing and catching on. And before you know it, none of them are doing anything. There's no honey, no food, the whole hive collapses. And that all started with one bee. Now that's a very negative example, so let's say it ran in reverse. One bee starts pollinating and gathering things, and before you know it, all of the others are joined in too. There's more honey than you know what to do with. That all started with one bee too. Now, this isn't really how bees work. For a start, most bees are solitary and don't live in hives at all. But it is sometimes a little tiny bit, sort of how people work. The world can feel like a really scary, confusing place, full of things you have no control over. It's very easy to feel like that first bee, thinking to yourself, oh, I'm just one person. What can I do? But what you have to understand is the little things add up to make big things. Besides, one bee working is better than no bees working, and they probably won't be alone for long. Last year, I replied to an email on a whim and found myself planning a project to help bees. I had no funding, no expertise, and just an idea. Scientists aren't sure why, but bees are in decline, with half of the population of bees that were around in 1950 being extinct today. Bees really like flowers that have a lot of nectar or pollen, so I figured, well, that's got to be a good thing to have more of those, but I don't have enough time or money or resources or space to grow all of the flowers that you'd need for all of Macclesfield's bees. So I figured, oh, I'll hand them out to people, and they can grow their own. It was an idea. Like I said, I had no resources, though, so I emailed around as many planty-ish people as I could think of, and I must have sent about 100 emails, and I eventually got one reply from one garden centre. I went along, and they gave me more stuff than I knew what to do with, and a lot of expertise, all for free. It was a start. A few months of planting things, Googling what a snapdragon seedling's supposed to look like, having a desk that looks a bit like the beginning of a jungle, and dragging anyone I could find out on a Sunday morning at 8 a.m. to run a market stall, and I found that I'd given out hundreds of plants. Complete strangers are coming up to me, offering me more gardening supplies, and sending me photos of plants that they've grown themselves. That all started with one person, one email, one idea. And no, I didn't move a mountain or end a war, but I like to think that what I did made the world a slightly better place, for people and bees alike. So whatever change you want to see in the world, be it to do with plastic or politics or anything in between, remember that something is still better than nothing. Recycle more, sign a petition, go to a protest, or start your own. Ask yourself, I'm one person, what can I do? And you never know, you might start something amazing. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'm Abby Wheeler. Thank you for listening.